Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if it is your first time here, and in today's video we are going to be doing the next installment of my bi-weekly Shop My Stash series, where every 2 weeks I will go through my collection, pull out products that are going to be in my Shop My Stash makeup bag for the next 2 weeks. We do a look with them and I kind of chat about what they are, and we go over what was in the previous Shop My Stash makeup bag. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So the first thing that was in the last rotation was the Lethal Cosmetics Single Shadow in the shade Synth. This is one of the most beautiful shadows in my collection. It is this gorgeous, shifty, pink, purple beautifulness, and I loved making looks with this. It was just so much fun. We had my Patrick Ta Tinted Brow Wax, and every time that this is in one of my rotations, I'm just reminded of how much I love it. This is my favorite brow product, and I wish it was in every rotation that I had, but here we are. It's not. Then we have something that I actually used up. This is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. I keep one setting spray in my bag until it's used up, so like it can go through multiple rotations. This one I did use up, and we've moved on to a different setting spray, which you will see in a little bit. So this will be coming over here into where I store my empties. We had the Patrick Ta Double Take Creme and Powder Blush in the shade She's So LA, specifically the cream side, and I loved using this. This is such a gorgeous, like, deep kind of bronzy, warm tone, beautiful blush shade, and I was like piling this stuff on. This is one of my favorite cream blush formulas in my collection. We had this e.l.f. glowy setting powder. I don't know the real name of it, so I literally call it the e.l.f. glowy setting powder. I really like this, and I'm almost to the point where I think that once I use it up, I do want to repurchase it. It's just really nice. We have the Sugar Cosmetics Wingman Waterproof Micro Liner in the shade I'll Be Black, and this is a nice liner. It's nothing like freaking amazing, and it is a felt tip liner, and I do typically prefer a brush tip, but it's okay. We have the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Tiramisu, and I'm a little sad that this color has changed so much. So this component down here is clear. This is what the color should be, but because I've applied it over so many lipsticks, it's turned into like more of a pinky gloss, and I wish it was that true kind of warm brown gloss that it started out as. The e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer. It is my favorite concealer of all time. Recently in my concealer collection video, I was talking about how I was pretty sure that this was getting discontinued, and I don't think that that is happening, because I went to like search for it again to see if I could order some, and I found it like on the e.l.f. website, so I don't think it's getting discontinued. We have the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Jam Sesh. I loved wearing this as like just ate a popsicle type of lipstick. I applied it quite a few times, just like here, and then I would like pat it out, and it was so gorgeous. I love having red lipsticks in my Shop My Stash, because for me, I find that I can make them work in really versatile ways. The Pure 4-in-1 Tinted Moisturizer, while I do think the shade is like one shade too dark, I can make it work, and I actually have really been enjoying this. I have been loving tinted moisturizer so much. For the eye primer, I have the Pero Primero primer from Alamar Cosmetics, and this is my favorite eyeshadow primer. I find that it holds my eyeshadow in place literally all day, and no other eyeshadow primer that I've ever used has done that. I have super oily eyelids, and this just works really well for me. I had the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Mycelium. This is from the Raw Beauty Christie collab that they did. It was super gorgeous. I loved topping this over like literally everything. I was actually out of town this past weekend visiting my dad and his family down in Kentucky, and I brought this with me and used it as a one and done shadow, and it was just amazingly perfect. My all-time favorite lip liner is the NYX lip liner in the shade Natural, which is this one right here, and so I loved having this in here. It just is like the most perfect, like slightly contoury shade for my lip tone, and it's just everything to me. I have this little deluxe sample of the JLo Beauty That Blockbuster Wonder Cream. As controversial as JLo Beauty is, and as much as I don't want to like the brand, I really love this. It feels so deeply moisturizing, and it does give this beautiful glow to the skin, and the texture of it is this beautiful whipped, like almost gel cream type formula, and it's just so, it was so nice to use. And I still actually have quite a bit of it left. I thought that I was going to end up using up this whole sample, but I didn't, which is nice, I guess, because I get to use it more. We have the Tower 28 Bronzino in the shade West Coast, and I do believe that somehow, yeah, my clasp has broken, which kind of scares me because now I'm scared that this is going to dry out like super fast, so I might need to figure out a way to store it. But this is a really interesting bronzer because it is super shimmery. I just did a little blended swatch right here. It's so shimmery, but it works and I really like it. And I was having a little bit of a hard time at the beginning of this rotation figuring out my favorite application for it. I've had this bronzer for a while now, and I just struggle with how I like to apply it. So for a while I was trying to use a wet sponge and bounce it in there, but I felt like it didn't pick up enough product. And then I switched back to my Royal and Langnickel Complexion BMD 185 brush, which is typically what I use for my cream bronzers. And again, for a while I felt like I was struggling to actually pick up product, and it almost seemed like there was like some sort of weird hard pan in this, which is strange because this is a cream product. But I ended up just kind of rubbing the top layer off, and then I literally just dab this in. I find that I have to stipple to pick it up. I can't swirl, or else it just picks up like a weird amount of product, and then I go to tap it in and it just applies really weird. So I have to stipple it onto the brush and then stipple it onto my face, and that is the application technique that has been working the absolute best for me. For the highlighter, I had the Benefit Cookie highlighter. This is a really gorgeous highlighter. It is the most blinding highlight that I own probably in my entire collection, but it's so similar to my skin tone that it just looks super somehow natural and seamless while still being so intensely blinding on my face. But I really do like this highlighter. I don't support Benefit because they are not cruelty free, but I do really enjoy that highlighter. And then last but not least, the mascara that I was using was the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. This is a deluxe sample of it, and this is one of my favorite mascaras. I find that this mascara does not smudge on me literally at all, but again, Lancome is not cruelty free, so I love it, but I would not purchase it with my own money. Alright, so next we are going to move into the products that are coming into this next rotation. For eye primer, I'm going to be going back to my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I just want this to be gone so bad. I feel like it's just taking such a ridiculous amount of time to actually get it to be used up. For my single shadow, it is going to be the JD Glow Single in the shade MOSCATO, and this is a really gorgeous, like, I mean, you can see it on the eyes. It's the shimmer that I'm wearing. It's this kind of lightly peachy tone. I'm running out of space here. It's like this peachy toned rose gold, and it's just so stunning. For the one and done shadow, we have the ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Flower Child. This is a really sparkly, very light champagne-y gold shade, and I actually topped it over the JD Glow Single. For black eyeliner, we have another felt tip liner. This is the DOUCCE Fierce and Fine Graphic Pen. I was actually surprised with how nice it was to do this winged liner today, because I've used this in the past, you know, and I feel like it's never been so nice as it was today. For the kind of colored liner, I have this little deluxe sample of the Sephora collection Crayon Contour Eye Pencil in the shade Blonde Ambition. It's just this really light champagne shade that I have in my waterline today. For the mascara, I have the CIATE London Triple Shot XXL mascara. I'm about 80% sure this is a fiber mascara, and I actually really like the way that it made my lashes look today. For face primer, I have this deluxe sample of the La Mer Creme de la Mer Moisturizing Cream. This moisturizing cream is, the texture is really nice, but the scent is like pretty overwhelming, and so far I have found that like it's not really fading off my face, so there's that. I'm keeping my NYX glitter primer in, as I always do. And one new thing that I'm going to be throwing in that I'm pretty sure is going to be staying a constant in my makeup bag for my Shop My Stashes is my AURIC Beauty Glow Buzz. I've been loving this as like a second primer to kind of glowify the high points of my cheeks, so I'm going to be keeping that in there as well. The foundation is the Merit Beauty Complexion Stick. I have the shade Bone, and this is one of the best color matches for me in my entire foundation collection, and it's just so nice. It's such a nice formula, and it adds the most beautiful glow to your skin, which is strange because it is a stick foundation, and typically those tend to lean a little bit more matte. Concealer, I have my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This color is a little too yellow for me, but I really enjoy the formula. For my loose powder, I have the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder in the shade Translucent as a deluxe sample. So far, the shade is a little bit yellow on my under eyes, but I do like the texture of it. For my all over face setting powder, I have my AOA Studio Perfect Finishing Pressed Powder, and it's a nice powder. Forgot to mention that my BECCA under eye brightening corrector will be staying in my bag, as it always is. My brow product this month, we are going back to the We Are Fluid BROWZEY Brow Gel. This is my favorite packaging of basically any product that I have in my makeup collection. For bronzer, we are bringing in my e.l.f. St. Lucia Blush and Bronzer Duo, and so I'm going to be featuring the bronzer in this rotation. For the blush, we have another blush and bronzer duo, and it is going to be the Pacifica Desert Sunset Matte Blush and Bronzer, and it is the shade Sunset Matte, and it is this really gorgeous kind of peachy, warm-toned blush that I love. For highlight, I am bringing in my Vesca Beauty Stargaze Luminous Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Moonlight, and it is such a stunning highlighter, and I'm going to really love using it. For my setting spray, since I used up my Milani setting spray, I'm now starting on my e.l.f. Glow Dewy Mist with coconut and argan oil, and so far I think I like this. I'm gonna be honest, when I spray it on my face, for a while after I spray it, my face feels a little bit sticky, which is strange, but I think it's just because there's so many oils in this. But so far I am enjoying it. My lip liner is the Juvia's Place lip liner in the shade Sweet Nothing. I think at some point I do want to pick up more of these, just because I really love the component. It makes me happy that it's like a twisty roll up and that I don't have to sharpen it. I feel like the past 18,000 rotations have been ColourPop lippy sticks for my lipstick, but we have another lippy sticks, and this is the shade Slacker. This is a really pretty kind of peachy shade. It's really pretty, and I like it. It's not as peachy as I thought it was. It's a little bit more pink, but I do enjoy it. And then lip gloss, we have one of my favorite glosses. This is the Clarity Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Drop the Mic. It is a clear base with the utmost amount of gold sparkles in it, and it makes me really happy to wear, and it looks kind of ridiculous if you wear it on like a bare lip, but over top a lipstick, stunning. And that's all the products that are going to be in this rotation, so without further ado, let's jump right into the makeup look. Alright, and that is it for this video. Shop My Stashes are probably my favorite video to film on my channel. I love rotating through products, and I love the makeup portion of this video the most, which is so weird, but it's my favorite part to do. If you did enjoy this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe before you go, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!